The first change would be to do away with the reliance on high-stakes testing.
Let's get away from test-driven decision-making for children, buildings, and adults, because that is causing all kinds of havoc and destabilizing our communities, destabilizing the lives of the very children we're supposed to be helping.
A little kid sits down with a bubble sheet, and they fill in bubbles. And then they take this, you grade it, you get this number out of it. Sometimes you run it off into multiple decimal points as to where this child is because of what they did on that day. And then you slice it and you dice it, and you do regressions, and you do these giant equations that take an entire blackboard and no one can understand. And a number comes out at the end and you say, oh, well, this is the teacher's effectiveness. And it's all, but what have you started with? You started with a child filling in bubbles on a sheet. How can that number be that meaningful?
On that day, you can't possibly capture what my child knows. And you're going to make high stakes decisions, not just for my child, but for the teachers, for school buildings. I think that's really not smart.
Teachers would be freed to really focus on what their students need, and students would be able to succeed without having to worry about the tests. And school districts and schools would not be punished because of a supposedly bad or failing grade on a standardized test.
When we are singularly focused on the test to make very important high-stakes decisions, it forces the adults to do some really crazy things that are not in the best interest of children. So let's look at a variety of ways to determine if our schools are meeting the goals.
When a child is really learning and when it's really taking root, they should be excited about going to school. They should feel excited about being with their friends and sharing information with one another. And when that joy for learning the kid doesn't have it, then you know there's something wrong. And so if that's what you're feeling, then you probably need to look into how the school is using testing. And maybe that's just not the right environment. And maybe you need to band together with other parents to kind of change what's going on in that school community.
And I really want to see us get back to developing curriculum in schools that give children a love for learning so that they don't stop themselves.
What testing is doing is creating a level of stress and taking the fun, the play, the joy that really makes the difference on whether a kid learns or not. And we've got to stop it.